Um, what's on my mind right now is just trying to get out this idea of escapism. And if you hear my nephews and nieces in the background, they watching the show, but it's this idea of escapism, like avoiding unpleasant realities with temporary pleasures or something like that. Like just avoiding unpleasant realities. And I find that right now societally, we're all living in that aspect. Like we're all avoiding our problems. We're avoiding the issues that we have within. We so focused on the external stuff, like the person on camera, like just the appearance, like just making sure I look good, I'm handsome, dark skinned, talk well, intelligent. Like we all focused on that instead of what's on the inside, which is our emotions, the thoughts we have, the way we perceive the world, what we're grateful for, being grateful for breath, just being happy. And I know it's so corny because I know that's what we all look. That's the philosophical question: is how can we? What is happiness, and how can we attain it to be forever? How can we make this whole experience of life the most happiest and joyful experience we can have? Is it through money that we can achieve happiness and be able to have the things that we want? Is it through relationships that we can receive happiness and through finding the right partner, having the right friends, be just obtain the things that we want? Or maybe for those that's not looking for happiness, I don't know. I don't know, because I know everybody wants to be happy. You want to be able to smile. You want to be able to feel good about yourself. And life can make it very difficult to feel good about yourself. Life can make it very difficult to just be happy, even when you have the world. Millionaires all the time kill themselves. People with the most money in the world be some of the most miserable people you can ever meet. And it's ironic because some of the poorest people in the world have some of the brightest smiles and the most grateful people you'll ever meet. And I'm not saying you got to be poor to be happy. I'm not saying you got to be rich to be happy. I'm not saying if you're rich, you're miserable. If you're poor, you're miserable. I'm just saying that this is a quest that we're all seeking. I'm seeking it for myself. I can't sit here and say to you that I'm always happy, that I've never tried to avoid unpleasant realities, that I never tried to avoid pain, because I've tried. I've tried with the bottle. I've tried to smoke. I've tried with other people. The simple pleasures, the instant gratification, the sleep, the ignoring my problems, the pushing back due dates, that everything I've tried. I've tried so much just to feel happy. And all these temporary pleasures and temporary joys and temporary things brought me was a state of being that wasn't myself. So when I gave up drinking, smoking, chasing, and focusing on the internal things, really focusing on my mental, spiritual, and physical self, you might wonder, did I find happiness? And ironically, I only felt pain because these are difficult things to acquire. These are difficult things to work on. To work on your physical, to work on your mental, to work on your spiritual self, your internal self, the self you've been locking away, the self you've been avoiding, the stuff you've been avoiding, to really focus on yourself is very difficult. It's more difficult than you think. And I'm not talking in a selfish sense where we all become lovers of ourselves. I'm talking in a sense of to have problems that you're dealing with in the internal, and instead of avoiding that problem, to face it head on, to face that grief, to face that hardship, to face those problems. Because once you face those problems don't stand as tall as when you're running away from them. As you continue to back away, the problem grows bigger and bigger and bigger. But the closer you get, it gets smaller. And the closer you get, the more you attack that problem, the closer you is to find that solution. I'm not here to give you the answer to life. I'm not here to answer the question of where we find happiness and what, like how can you find happiness? Because I go through trials and tests all the time, but this all making me stronger. This all making me wiser, and it's all making me ever more patient. Because eventually, people's gonna come back to these videos. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he was on to something," and maybe they won't. But the ones that do, the ones that get the message, don't look for these temporary joys and temporary pleasures, because it will be fleeting. They're only temporary. Focus on the things that last. Problems really aren't that big. Once you start facing them and stop avoiding them and making excuses to avoid them, you'll find a solution you've been looking for your entire life. Stay prayed up, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed that episode. Subscribe because why not?